Cavs got another big win against the Boston Celtics, and all I want to say is after this game, man, I need to see this playoff series happen. I know we only 7 games into the season. A lot of things can change, but man, does this need to be a playoff series? Like, when both these teams play, something magical happens. Well, not magical, but fun, straight up fun. 2 overtime games in like 3 days with these 2 squads. Like, this is what a playoff series would feel like between the two. Sign me up, man, for real. But real quick, before I get into the game, before I talk about the Cavs, before I talk about DG's big return, y'all, I'm in this follow war with Ace Boogie, and look, we neck to neck now. I think I got within 100 or 200. We made a lot of a lot of catch up on there. We need to get over there. So if you don't follow me yet on Twitter, at KWEN_C. Links are in the description. Please make sure you do that for me, man. We are close. We're like 300 away to getting to 10K. I know there's at least 300 of y'all that are watching my videos that have not followed me on Twitter. I need y'all to step up and hit that follow, because if I don't win this challenge, I got to eat a hot chip. And I like making these Cavs videos, but I don't know, this hot chip might put me out for a week. I don't know what these hot chips do to your soul, do to your throat, do to your mouth. Like, it is what it is. Y'all, I just need y'all to help me out. Follow me on Twitter at KWENC, KWEN_C. Please do that. Now let's talk about this game, man. And you know, we've been spending a lot of time, rightfully so, talking about Donovan Mitchell, because he has been spectacular, right? And he had a pretty normal game. He had an average game, I would say a below average game for Donovan Mitchell, but a good game for like anybody else. 11 to 27 from the field. Didn't really shoot it well. 3 of 9. 4 rebounds, all on the defensive end. 6 assists, and he had a couple of blocks. He was really big in some defensive situations late in the game, especially late in the fourth quarter. He really started to heat up, and he was very useful there. Karis LeVert had about 15, so he showed up today too. And then, you know, Evan Mobley, good for a smooth 15 that you didn't even notice, right? And I'm starting to think the reason I don't be noticing Evan Mobley's 15 and 16 that he be getting isn't because he's not good. It's just because he's so efficient with it, right? Like, he's so efficient, you barely notice it. He went 7 of 8 from the man missed 1 shot today. 1 shot, and it was a 3-pointer he took. And then he missed a free throw. Like, he is so efficient, y'all. I mean, we know he's great on defense, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, but we know he's great on defense, but man, his efficiency on offense right now is everything that the Cavs need. And if he can grow that bag and get a bigger bag, sky's the limit for him, man. Sky's the limit. Jared Allen had another solid night, 14 and 14. I mean, that's a Jared Allen day right there, right? Just one of them tough, grinded out kind of games. And then the real star of it, right? Because we didn't get much bench scoring. Like, Dean Wade had 6, Kevin had 8, and Robin Lopez had 1 shot made. But the real star of the show today was Darius Garland, I felt like Darius Garland really had himself a solid return game. Went in, 6 of 7 from free throw, 5 of 11 from 3-point, 9 of 20 from the field, ended up with 29, 12, and 5. Pretty good night for Darius Garland, right? And the reason I want to put the focus on Darius Garland is because Donovan Mitchell is for sure the best player. We know this, right? Donovan Mitchell is the best scorer on the team. He's the best overall player. But damn, man, he's so good that it kind of made you forget how good Darius Garland is, right? We kind of forgot about DG. And I'm not going to lie, right? Like, Donovan's been so good. I've been thinking, like, how much better can DG really make the Cavs? Oh, boy. He can make us a whole lot better, man. He's really, really, really good. Like, I forgot how really good it was. Like, down the stretch, when the Cavs needed a bucket, I haven't felt this relaxed about a 3-minute situation with the Cavs where they just got to go on ISO and playoff mode since they had Kyrie and LeBron. Right? When you knew that, hey, you got Kyrie on one side, you got LeBron on the other, you got options. you know that you're going to be able to get a shot off, a nice shot when it comes to crunch time. And late in this game, when you see Darius go down there, and you got Donovan Mitchell on the court as well, and I'm just like, oh, we can get a shot. It was like, you know what I mean? Last year, that was the big problem with this Cavs team, was when it came to those moments, we didn't feel great about getting a shot if DG didn't immediately spring himself open or find like a cutter or something like that. Like, it was so much work to get a good shot in these situations last year. This year, it's just not that much work, right? It's, hey, get it to Donovan. If Donovan ain't got it, throw it back out to Darius. Darius, you get yourself a shot because you're going to have single cover. Like, it is so much easier. And that gives me confidence that this is something that can translate into playoff time, right? Because that was the big worry about last year's Cavs team in the playoffs. And they didn't end up playing in the playoffs because they lost in the play-in. But that was the big concern about the Cavs, right? That's why they traded for Caris LeVert was, hey, man, in the playoffs, where they cut this game down to half court, and you got to just get a bucket in the half court isolation style. Can you get it? How do you feel about your chance against doing that against some of the better teams in the NBA? Boston Celtics were in the NBA Finals last year. Now, they haven't got off to the hottest of hot starts, but they played well today. I mean, you look at what they had going. Where Jason Tatum had 26, didn't really have a great night from the field, but really made his free throws, so he came back in that. Jaylen Brown had 30, went cold at the end of the game, didn't have a great day shooting from the field, but still, those are 2 A+ scores, right? But it didn't feel like we were in a deficit because we have 2 A+ scores in Darius Garland and in Donovan Mitchell. And really where I was most impressed with Darius was his effort defensively, right? Like, that's where, do you forget about the small things, right? We know Darius can put up 20 and 30. Like, we know he can do that on a nightly basis almost. We know that he can be relied on to do that. What we forget about Darius when he's not out there is the effort that he gives defensively and how many opportunities he can create because he gives that effort. There were more than a couple of plays where the Browns were doing that. Well, not the Browns, where the Cavs, my bad, y'all, where the Cavs were doing that thing they occasionally do where they don't get the offense, where they don't get the defensive rebound, and then, you know, they let a couple offensive rebounds go, and then usually that goes until the team makes a shot. But today it was like, hey, Donovan got a big rebound in those situations. And I thought Darius really got a big one where he sprinted to a ball before it can get loose and roll to Marcus Smart to really stop one of those things from happening. And I thought he was going to be in limited minutes today. He played 42 minutes, so he's full go for the rest of the time here. But yeah, that's what people forget about Darius, the playmaking, right? The fact that Jared Allen had a better night tonight. Evan Mobley was insanely efficient because what that does to open up the front court for this team, right? Like, that's what Darius brings, is that he unlocks Evan Mobley. He unlocks Jared Allen. And then when you have Donovan Mitchell on the court, you unlock it to a whole nother level to where even Donovan Mitchell can occasionally catch a oop like he did today. It is nice having those two pieces. If you are worried about the fit, and I know a lot of people are worried about the fit, not for basketball reasons. Most people who just look at the Cavs for basketball reasons don't really think this, but this is for Cleveland reasons. Let's be real on it. Like, we're all Cleveland fans to an extent, or most of us are Cleveland fans to an extent, and we're just used to stuff not working out. Right? Like, what happened with Odell and Baker, that's the normal for Cleveland fans. And a lot of us have been thinking in the back of our head, how is this not going to work with Donovan and Darius, right? Because it never seems to work for us. No, throw that one out. This is going to work, y'all. Like, they don't just fit. They fit so well, it feels like they've been playing forever with each other, right? Like, at certain points in this game, it's like, oh, the chemistry's already there with these two. Like, they already know where to be with this is going to work. We fine. And then the biggest thing we were worried about with these two was defense. And I felt like they shined pretty well here defensively. Like, they weren't taken advantage of. They were able to force some shots, some bad shots. They were able to play some solid defense down the stretch. Nah, man, this isn't ruining a single thing. We're getting all the scoring punch we need without losing some defensive punch. Now, I actually would advocate for having Dean Wade in those closing lineups instead of Karis LeVert, because I don't think Karis LeVert effectively spaces the the court. As long as it was Browns and Cavs season at the same time, and I'm making content for both, I'm going to have these mix ups. So I apologize for it. But when you have Dean Wade out there, I think he's more of a effective spacer in these situations, because he's more of an effective and consistent 3-point shooter from the wing, and especially from the corner. And I think he's a more consistent defender. He uses his length really well. He really gives effort. And Dean, like, if Isaac Okoro was Dean Wade, dog, we would be so happy with that pick. Like, that's what I'm saying that Dean gives you. And if that makes it make more sense, like if Isaac Okoro could be Dean Wade, man, we would be in such a better place with Isaac, right? We would be ecstatic about it. But unfortunately, Isaac continues to struggle offensively, and that's starting to dip into his defense, where he's getting some bad fouls. He's having a rough go of it. Let's give him the season. You know what I mean? Why not give him the season to see if he can figure some stuff out? But it might not even matter, because of what Dean Wade has given you, right? And when you get back Rudy and all of these things, not Rudy. I am blanking on names like crazy. It's been a very long day for me. I apologize. But that is what you get to it. And then Karis can play the 3 in the second. Like, you got options there once you get back some guys. Ricky Rubio from injury especially, right? But yeah, I would like to see that lineup change, because I think sometimes they crowd the ball a little bit, or they crowd the wing trying to get an ISO shot down the stretch, where as if you had Dean Wade out there, he would be on that corner kind of spacing things out so you can have more room for Evan Mobley if he needs to get a tip back, or if you could have a lot more room for Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell to work in those situations. So that's a tweak that I think they'll eventually make, especially if Dean continues to play at the level that he has played at. Again, he didn't have a great day today, but I think that's because he started with 60% for 3. Like, that's not going to last, right? He's going to have a couple of bad games to get him back to average. I'm fine with that. But yeah, man, Darius Garland, I forgot. At least I'll keep it a buck. I'm just going to say what it was for me. I forgot how good Darius Garland was, because I ain't been watching Darius Garland, because he ain't been out there the last few games. Yeah, man, this going to fit. This team's really good. And I like their chances. If this 7-game sample size is who they are for the rest of the year, I like their chances in a playoff style situation. Like, this is not a team like the 16 Atlanta Hawks, where they just didn't have enough firepower in the half court set without having to get like a bunch of screens to really win playoff series, right? No, I don't think this is anything remotely close to that. I think they got the size up front, and they got the scoring firepower on the bench and in that backcourt with DG and Donovan. And it fits so smoothly together that, look, if one's having a great day, the other can go off ball, vice versa. Man, they got something. The Cavs have something here, man. The Cavs really have something. Like, I don't want to get too excited. I know a lot of people have been talking about the Cavs as at least the top 6 seed. They look like one of the top 3 seeds in the conference right now. Like, it's them, and it's not Miami. It's Milwaukee, and then whoever you want to throw in there behind it. But they look like a top 3 or 4 seed, like a home series type of playoff team. Like, that's what they look like a 50+ win team. They got it, man. And sometimes you know it when you see it with the team. I see it with this team, and they're not even at full strength yet. They got it. This team has it. But that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to follow me on Twitter, y'all. Please don't. But y'all have a great day. Have a good night.